indeed. Bit of Tiswas action. Who doesn't love a bit of Tiswas? If you don't know what Tiswas is, we're going to educate you. We're going to educate you through this evening. Good evening, everybody. How is everybody? I'm sorry, I'm running a couple of minutes late. Firstly, yes, I had a mini emergency. I got in trouble. I'm quite deservedly so. I'm going to apologize. I had Cara Nicole on my channel on Tuesday. Fantastic guest, fantastic campaign. I'd really wholeheartedly recommend it. So I thought, I normally put an attractive cosplay model on these thumbs saying only Comicsgate can save us now, right? And it never occurred to me that might be a controversial thing. Obviously it is. Obviously it is. So she contacted me when she saw it and said, please, don't put words in my mouth. And she's 100% right. I profusely apologize. So I deleted those tweets ASAP, and I've changed the thumbnail on this video. I've removed it again. I do apologize. So there you go. So that's why we're running a couple of minutes late. But there you go. Again, fantastic channel. I would and great campaigns. I recommend it wholeheartedly. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's well. What's going on? So for me, I've just entered back into the world, right? Back into the ether. Because for me, it was just Sabbath, right? And Sabbath, I'm normally off the line. Oh man, could you imagine? Because okay, this is just an aside. I do set up a couple of tweets to go scheduled that to be put out on Sabbath, right? Because I can't do it then, right? So I got a link coming somewhere. Fine. So I'm really glad I didn't schedule that to go out on Sabbath, and I wouldn't know that she was upset. I'm glad I took care of that right away. But yeah. So anyway, so I'm just coming off a Sabbath, and I don't really know what's going on Sabbath. I'm normally offline, right? I have no clue what's going on. Nothing seems to have happened. Nothing to happen. But I do like to delve into the world of what's happening in the genre news, anything interesting. But I need people. I need hardy men, sturdy men to hold my hand in this voyage of discovery as we go in and we find out what's been going on in the last 24 hours. What's been going on in the last 24 hours? I mean, listen, I've had a brief look. But I guess we're going to find out. Firstly, I have the Sterling, the strong, the long arm of a I will say a pillar of the both the comics and the Comicsgate community. He has a new sign up for his new Indiegogo, which looks, I would say, better than the last one. I like the last one. But this was much more like I just playing up that old like classic horror element. Really, look at it. So please allow me to introduce you, Wullie. How are you, sir?
I am fine. Good to see you this fine evening. There you go.
You look very good. Okay, so listen, my son. It was just his birthday, and he wanted for a present. He wanted one of the. It's called the subs. It's a home like beer tap. Right, you get these massive like cans of beer put in them, but your glass of beer looks like it was poured from a.
Well, then this is what we call in Scotland a small glass of wine.
Oh, a small glass of wine. I didn't realise you were being refined for the evening.
I'm being refined for the evening. This is a Malbec. Yes.
I have to say I do like your beard and moustache. You didn't have that last time.
No, I'd shaved it off. It's because I've not had a haircut since the lockdown, so I thought I'd just go full Billy Connolly. Why not?
Yeah, you do look a bit D'Artagnan.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. I'll go with that.
Okay.
A bit dashing, is that what it is?
Dashing, you do. You look like you can buckle a swash. You really do. I can't do it. Fine. I have not one, but not two fantabulous guests with me tonight. The second is what can be said of this man? I honestly don't know. I know nothing about him. I know his Indiegogo looks kind of good. I guess we're going to find out tonight. Hopefully he's not an axe murderer who's going to find where we live and kill us all, right? Hopefully not. But who knows what dares to dream. We have the incomparable Matt C. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Doing good.
Cheers, Matt.
Yeah, that's quite
you're in America.
a bar to get over.
Where are you from?
From Florida, from the great.
Oh well,
from the state of Florida.
You look like you're going to survive the Biden apocalypse.
Yeah. We've been.
You guys are looking okay in Florida right now.
Well, yeah, us and Israel, right?
Right, you Israel
lockdowns are over, so. Yeah, I've got some It's only 2 p.m. here, so.
Okay,
have a small
fine.
glass of wine.
So what time is it? I have to say, I do like the product placement on your beverage.
I need to go to that.
One second, you're going full screen for that. I like the chutzpah. It's good. Now, where on earth could you get an item like that? Where could you get that?
On my Indiegogo.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, right beneath my axe murderer.
One second. So far, let me put yours in first. And it's also all your links are in the video notes as well.
Oh, thanks,
man. I wanted to commission that woman, Cara Nicole, to do like a cosplay cover of one of my books. I guess that's not going to happen. Oh man.
You were building that up for a while, weren't you?
I mean, listen, things I can't disagree with her. She was completely right, but she was so pissed. I'm like, oh, okay. I better fix that. This is not an argument I want to be in.
I tell you, I think Wullie and I we saw the preview image for this stream, and we thought it was an invitation to get a little loose in the shirt. We weren't sure what kind of stream.
I wasn't sure. That's why
I was pretty sure I knew who Wullie was, but I didn't think he had that much.
No. I was making sure it was fine, well lubricated before the show, as they say.
Yeah, sure.
It's always wise, sir. No, it's like my go-to thumb for this show. I wanted a sexy superhero thing. And I have it every week, and that's the line they say, and I'm like, it just didn't occur to me. That's like, oh yeah, that first thing that's putting words in his mouth. I know, whatever. And I understand people not wanting to be associated with Comicsgate. I mean, I think they're wrong, but I can understand them.
It's funny because even like CG UK is the most wholesome, non-controversial. I mean, CG USA is a whole different story. But what you guys do across the pond and beyond is it's pretty not controversial.
I mean, listen, they're generally speaking, we have. What's our percentage of religious books? Yeah, we got. I would say Mary Boys. That's religious. There's a lot of religion in CG UK. You have it in your book.
If you count the Hare Krishna Kamimark book.
Yeah. Oh, right, bro. Yeah, of course. Yes,
but we are so diverse at Horse. I mean, my book. Anybody can read my. I could put my book in Kickstarter tomorrow and get it featured because it's so diverse when you actually look at it. And that's the thing is, it's like we just never get involved in any drama, or we try not to get involved in any drama.
Yeah,
it should be about the comics. That's what it was meant to be about when it started. So at the end of the day, there's lots of different opinions within Comicsgate. And those who try to gatekeep it and say you have to stick to these opinions, you have to believe this, you just blank them out, do your thing and stick to the core kind of like concerns, which is individuality, creating good work, no censorship, no gatekeeping. That's what it's all about.
Love it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really, what I that's what I think life should really be.
You were the last time you were on a show, we spent 20 minutes talking about Hazle. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you end up doing on CG UK.
Well, who's doing Hazle?
That was you.
Me? Oh yeah, I did want to do one. Right? Yeah.
You can't invite this guy anywhere, but he brings the tone down.
Wouldn't that would be fun. I'm talking about a parody magazine, like for the again. I could fill it with cosplayers. We could keep it completely clean. But again, I don't think she's going to return my call. I think that bridge is totally burnt. Weird thing is, though, I've been trying to find other cosplayers now to come on. She's like one of the only ones I could really find who's got a lot of stuff out there.
Well, is she American? Because that would probably explain a lot. If she's thinking CG USA, that could be the big difference right there.
Yeah, again, listen, you know what? The reasons don't really matter. It's, her point was entirely correct. You shouldn't put words in people's mouths. I hear that. I agree. Whatever it is, it's the thing. You know when you've been told off when you totally agree with the person.
Yeah, you can't argue.
Anyway, this is Willie's new campaign. Shall we watch the video?
Yeah, sure. Might as well. Yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
There you go. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Tales of mystery and imagination. Yeah. It's launching in July. I'm going to be busy in July because I should be finishing up AILSA Dark and posting it out that month as well. So that's the plan. Really? Most of this book is already done.
Right.
Because it's my old anthology comic that I used to sell, and I'm remastering the stories.
Right. I saw the packaging somewhere. What did you put it on Twitter? Awesome.
Give me a wee sec, but that's mock-ups, but that's exactly what it's going to look like. So it's good. I'll give me a wee second. I'll find an image for you, and I can bring it up. The idea is the campaign's going to give you. It's going to be like a soft-cover book. It's my work and a friend of mine, Beck's, her work as well. So there's 2 of her strips in there too, and they were all in the original comic, and a good few of them are getting remastered. I'm looking for them. I'd probably be quicker going on Twitter, but yeah, the whole idea behind it was how I started doing comics. It's when I left my job in the games industry and I started teaching. I wanted to keep my hand in to do something creative, and because I always loved comics, so I thought, well, that's the sort of thing to do. So I thought an anthology comic, and I did the first issue, and I roped in a couple of mates in the industry, and they did some stories, and it just kind of led to we did end up doing 4 issues quarterly over the year. And when
how was that? How many issues is this all put together?
Well, this is going to be 6, maybe more stories taken from various issues. So it's all cool. My work.
So, how many pages is it?
It's currently, I've got it down in my campaign. I'm putting my campaign together just now, and I've got it down as 86 plus.
Oh, nice. That's why I like this book. It looked really like meaty.
Yeah, it's going to be a good kind of like a chunky collection.
Right. Is this the first appearance of Tatty Bogleman?
Yeah, well, the Tatty Bogleman first appeared in this, and he was like the crypt keeper, and he introduced the stuff. And then I thought to myself, I kind of start, what you do? You start creating a backstory for the character. And in my mind, he was like Freddy Krueger. If Freddy Krueger was presenting like the Tales from the Crypt back in EC. So I say he's like the Scottish Freddy Krueger. And so I kind of like started thinking of him that way, and I created a whole backstory for him. And the story that was in originally is not this exact same as the one that I put in the campaign. So you can get his origin story right now on the AILSA Dark campaign. So if you back that, you've got the option to have an add-on, which is the Tatty Bogleman 3D special, and that tells his origin story. But
I do like your 3D. I say, are you going to do anything with that? I really like that you had that first day cover. That was really cool.
I might do. The only thing is, I'm right now. I'm thinking about things for it, but I'm not thinking too much about things for it because I'm still drawing or finishing off the one shot for Charlie's London's book, and I'm drawing AILSA Dark right now. So I've got the campaign in mind, but the extras I'm not quite sure. I do know that I want to do something with 3D, but I'm thinking I'll still make the 3D special available as an add-on for people, so so they can see the story.
I do like the 3D special.
Like 3D.
I do like the 3D special. It's very cool.
I'm almost ready. I can share this with you. What I'm doing is my Mac's.
Don't. Do you not feel the death of Steve Jobs more keenly every day?
It used to be it just worked.
I know.
My last Mac lasted 10 years and it's still running. But I had to upgrade just because of software issues. So now I've got one that runs like mud. It's the only way you can see it. And it's like about 10 times as powerful as my old Mac, but it still runs like mud. It's shocking. So let's see if I can share this for you. Yeah, Apple.
It's three old men trying to make a computer work.
Bear in mind, I'm on my second glass of Malbec, and you've seen the size of them.
Matt, you look quite young. You're like but you look grumpy. So yeah, same.
I was gonna take it. I was gonna take
it. I turned 55 this year, so I'll take a grumpy old man.
Oh yeah, I'm
easing it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
You've earned it. Yeah.
So that's a soft cover mock-up that I made. And for some reason I thought I was opening the hardcover mock-up, but if you go into my Twitter you'll see that there's a hardcover mock-up as well. I'm going to offer it as a soft cover as just a kind of, it's probably going to retail, I would say it's at 20 UK pounds for the book, so it's going to be 6+ pages, so it'll end up being more than that. So it's going to be a proper solid collection, graphic novel if you want to say that, but it's not really, but it'll feel like that. It's going to be A4, so it is the large size format. But I'm also offering a limited edition. I'm only doing 50 of the hardcover one, and that's only going to be a 10 or more.
I hate to tell you, I kind of prefer the soft cover one. I don't know, I really do. It feels more authentic. I think the hardcover one is going to be cool, but I hate to be the one. But I recommend hopefully because I don't really like hardcover books in general.
Oh right, okay. That's your prejudices then. That's what
it is. My prejudices. That is true. That is true.
I'll see if I can find. Bear with me a second because I thought.
All right, no problem. But I do like the whole vibe going on with it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it has actually been previously bought by Freddy Krueger at a convention when it was in magazine format.
Yeah,
so you're endorsed by Freddy Krueger.
Get his ideas from, right? Where does he get his ideas from? There, now we know.
Well, I always say everything great comes from Scotland, so you know.
There you go.
There you go.
I am Brewhag. Oh, I'll tell you though, is that the hardback one?
Oops, what did I do there? That's a hardcover one. So the idea of the hardcover one.
Yeah, maybe hush my mouth because this has got that that nice annual feel to it.
That's what I was going for. I was going for because in the UK we had these annuals. And I'm thinking for the thickness of it, it's probably the same thickness or thicker than we used to have for the old annuals in the UK. So
we have to bring Matt up to speed. It's like there's a lot of colloquial things going on here.
My questions are following.
Right.
Firstly.
Explain what our annuals are like. Yeah.
Like a trade paperback, I guess. Right? Is that?
Annuals were these large format hardback books. You come out once a year, 80 pages long. Normally garbage. They're normally after garbage of articles and crossword puzzles and comic strips, and they never look like the people they're supposed to be. And you had weird, you had this TV show called Blue Peter, which was a magazine show for 8-year-olds. That was really uptight, right? Yeah, that was and then you had the ITV one called How, which was a bit cooler, right? But
just a bit though.
Yeah,
no, it was Magpie.
Magpie.
Magpie was a cool one.
Doctor Who had an annual. You had annuals for everything. You had Bunty annual. And they were just weird. They're weird. You should look them up. And also the intro. You probably are completely at your depth there. That was Tiswas. Tis was a Saturday morning TV show. Did you get it up there in Scotland?
Oh yeah, we got it. Yep,
we got it. Okay, it was crazy. Okay,
yeah.
The BBC one was very like it was kind of fun. You had Posh Pot, it was called Swap Shop, right? It was like a 3-hour magazine show for kids on Saturday mornings.
Just to explain what it was like, they put children in a cage, and then they get a member of Antifa to come in and throw custard pies and water on them.
Exactly.
That's what it was like.
That's not the good version. That was not the BBC version. That was Tis Was. Tis was crazy, man. Tis Was, and it's like all the clips you saw was from Tis Was. You know, they'll put kids in cages and throw water on them and scream, "This is what they want." It was insane.
That was Nickelodeon for us.
Sorry.
That was Nickelodeon for us throughout the 90s.
It was really, and no, Nickelodeon was very corporate. This was like anarchic. It was like
really.
It was like all these grungy stand-up comedians doing this. This is where Lenny Henry, who's now this big famous guy in England, got his start. He used to do all this like really very very heavily racial stuff that you could not in a billion years do today.
Heavily racial. That would not be Nickelodeon.
He is a black comedian as well. That's the thing.
Yeah. And he was. It was crazy. I used to love Tizzle. So anyway, that's the weird world we're coming from. Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I love it. I wish I was born overseas. You guys, I mean, you've always been weirder and wilder. So, and you've been keeping the tradition going right up to 2021. So,
cheers. Yeah, I look back at things in the 70s and I go, wow, it looks really depressing. But you know what? When I was a kid, I had a ball.
It was great and fun, right? That was the 70s. Great and fun.
Great and fun. Yeah. So it's a wee bit of kind of like nostalgia with this. We're having it as a hardcover. So it's the same size as a British annual would have been as well. And I'm even thinking about putting in the odd little article page, so the pages will grow, but they won't be crap ones, they'll be good ones, like on Edgar Allan Poe and Lovecraft and stuff like that.
Right. I think this is a really cool. So Alan Moore did something similar with this magazine. It wasn't great. It was only one issue that I thought really gelled together. What was it called again? But it was the Christmas issue was the only one that really gelled together for me. But it was that kind of thing. It had all those articles in.
Yeah. So that's the first page I had the Tatty Bogle man on. That he's changed. His appearance has changed over the last couple of years, and the artists that worked on it, that weren't myself, I said to them, "You draw me any way you want," because I like the idea that every artist was completely different and did their own thing. So I knew that my art was a bit more traditional anyway. So there's somebody on there was like a way out, go for it, do them your way. So this was his first appearance, doing a big parody of. What's his name, Hamlet, and introducing the Telltale Heart. And so that was I decided I was going to adapt the Telltale Heart. It's a really good exercise in learning how to actually put together a comic. So I've already got the text in front of me. I just need to work as an editor. I had a storyteller, and so it's a case of editing the text down and making slight alterations and telling the story and staying to the spirit and as much to the word as Edgar Allan Poe as I could. It's a terrific exercise. If anybody wants to try something first in comics that they've never done, don't start writing your epic world-building comic. Find a short story that's in public domain.
That's very good, yeah.
And do that. So I learned loads just through doing this. So this is the unmastered page. I'm going to go into this. There's going to be some remastering done to it. I'm
going to give you incredible writing advice. If you want to learn how to tell a story, right? Try and do a series of one-page strips. That is the best thing for storytelling, because you've got to have a beginning, middle, and end. You got one page to deliver it in, and you got to give people enough to come back next week. Yeah, that is the that is a what's the name? It's Trial by Fire, but it's very good. I recommend that.
It is, yeah. So if you don't mind, I'll quickly just give you a wee look at some of the pages that are going to be worked on and remastered here for an idea. Oh, that's him again. There you go. Go away. Oh, there he is. He keeps coming back. What can I say? Right, okay. This is one of my pages as well. So there's not much remastering done in this strip because I quite like it. But this was the story of the Tatty Bogleman that I did after his origin, and it explains how he works in tandem with the body that he inhabits, which used to belong to someone else. So in other words, the person that his body he inhabits, he's still alive inside the Tatty Bogleman's head. He's still sentient in there, and this explains the symbiotic nature of those two characters.
That would be irritating when you're on date, I would say.
It's especially irritating when you're in the head of somebody who just enjoys killing and slaughtering and causing havoc. Yep. So this also points out just how omnipotent and godlike the Tatty Bogleman can be, and why it makes us all thankful that he's just a crazy person. Because if he realised just how powerful he was, we'd all be screwed. So this strip is in there as well. And this is a kind of strange strip because I ran a competition at the various conventions I was at. So people who bought it could put their name in a hat, and I drew the names out of the hat, and the people who won at the conventions were going to get killed in the strip.
Oh, there you go. That's honestly, I think that's a fine prize anybody should have.
Yeah, and the lassie there drinking the coffee up the top, she was the main winner of the main competition, so she made the cover as well, and she gets a featured part in the strip. And I asked everybody how they wanted to die, and I got things back like, "Can you kill me like Christopher Lee and Dracula has risen from the grave?" And I went, "Yeah, sure I can." And there was a couple of guys. There was a woman that wanted to be killed by a shark. I says, "I can do that." So the Tatty Bogleman kills these people in lots of creative ways in this strip here.
Again, using sharks.
Using sharks, exactly. This is a work in progress. This is from the Tatty Bogleman's origin. The flats have been laid down here. They're still to finish the colouring, but this is going to go in as a fully coloured version of his origin, so that'll be available for everybody now. And this will be the definitive version of his origin. Previously, it was in the 3D special in 3D. Now it's going to be in here in full colour for everybody.
All right.
Wullie, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So is the Tatty Bogleman, is that like the I don't know, like the Loch Ness monsters? Like, is he like an existing idea, or he came straight from you?
No, that's a good question, because what I tend to do is I look at mythological kind of like creatures and things that I can use, and I came across the whole idea of a beast called the Brolican, which is a Scottish kind of like a beast that is meant to be like in the woods and the darkness, and if you go in there, it'll come for you. It'll get you. So it's like a Scottish version of the bogeyman, and of course you think it's obviously created to stop the children from wandering too far from the village or too far from the home,
Sure.
And I thought, what if I created a character who was a Brolican, but was immortal? So whenever he died, he could be resurrected again inside somebody else's body. So that's the basis of this, came from a mythological character from folklore. But the actual character, the Tatty Bogle, a Tatty Bogle is a scarecrow. It's a word for a scarecrow in Scotland.
Okay.
So his origin story here, he gets the clothes he's wearing from a scarecrow and puts them on, and he becomes a Tatty Bogleman.
Hey, so Wullie, if I ever wrote a Tatty Bogleman story, this is what I'd like to do. This is what I'm just thinking. Picture this: you can have a story concerning one family in the Tatty Bogleman over like 200-300 years, and how it's all like interlinked because he dies and is resurrected, right? So you can basically have like this supernatural villain and like and living in this one family that have this tradition of like having to fight with him throughout time. I just think I think that's way to go with the story with him.
It's almost like you read my mind. Because it's not. If I was to do this as an ongoing one, I've got an idea that's kind of similar to that. But I'm using that for the film script I'm going to be working on, because I'm thinking big with the Tatty Bogleman, and that's kind of like something that I've thought about. What if there's somebody who's aware of him, and it's been passed down? The problem with the Tatty Bogleman is he would never be the same when he came back, because he's been there since the dawn of time. That's his origin.
So therefore, you've got to have this like secret sect, like this Knights Templar that know how to find him. But
that would be difficult, because every time he dies and is resurrected again, he's a little bit madder. So it's kind of like Doctor Who. Every regeneration of Doctor Who, he's got a slightly different personality, something else going on. The Tatty Bogleman comes back, he's a different kind of crazy.
Maybe
he comes back.
maybe in again, this is your creation, right? So you would know. Maybe within him, right? Maybe in him, there's always this insanity, this central insanity that they can pick up like a frequency of or something like that.
Right. Well, it's a spoiler if I tell you, but
no. Okay, fine.
But there's something that goes on. There's something that goes on in there, and
I'm sorry.
it's a tip of the hat to Freddy Krueger. There's lots of wee kind of breadcrumbs that I'm leaving in there that are wee kind of like, easy to having a wee bit of fun there, and that's based on Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever. The origin story is my take on The Wicker Man, which is like the greatest horror movie ever made.
Matt, have you ever seen The Wicker Man?
I've seen the memes. I've seen the GIFs.
Not that one. No, not that
the
one.
bees. That's all.
No. Okay, that's the awful remake with Nicolas Cage. No.
About 4 seconds. Yeah.
The original one was done in like 72, and it was done for like a budget of like maybe they may have had £17. I'm not sure. Maybe 18. I don't know.
They had enough money for tea and biscuits.
Yeah. So it starred Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward. You ever seen The Equalizer?
No, I know Christopher Lee. I haven't seen The Equalizer.
No, I'm talking about from the TV show from the 80s or Anyway, so the basic story is this guy. Sorry,
you have to start at 0 with an American.
Okay, no problem. So this policeman has to goes out to this remote island on or just off the coast of Scotland, right? It's like, and there's only like a small number of people there, and there's a girl that's gone missing, and he's found that the people on the island have abandoned Christianity, right? And they've taken up their old pagan ways, and he fears that the missing girl has been a human sacrifice that the whole village got together and did, right? So it's this whole this lengthy horror movie, like cat and mouse goes on for most of it, and then it's like the Mayfair. So you got all like this weird Morris dancers and like people wearing animal heads and just like weird stuff going on as he's
dancing around the maypole, all that kind of stuff.
Right. And eventually he's trying to find this girl, and he finally gets there, and he finds out that no, the girl isn't really there. They've lured him there so he can be the human sacrifice, and they got this giant burning man.
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's 50 years old. It's whatever.
I knew the end. I never knew the beginning or the middle. So that's actually.
So the end is they set him on fire, and he's burns to death as the villagers chant around him. It's good scene around.
Depending on your point of view, it's such a happy, joyful ending or not. But they give him an out every time. He just needs to succumb to the temptation, and he'd probably get an out.
Because so a part of the law is that they have to get a virgin, right? And then the night before they lure him there, was it Britt Eklund?
It's Britt Eklund.
Eklund wearing nothing at all, right? Nothing at all. Does a seductive dance in her bedroom, mentally calling him, tempting him to experience the pleasures of the flesh. Now, I would have been in there like the clappers, me. The hinge would have.
Come on, Rabbi.
Fast enough. Edward Woodward.
If you watch the movie, it's very difficult to argue with that.
Yeah. I like Britt Eklund had never, ever looked better, or you would never see more of her. It was
that was a body double that did all those parts.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah, all the slapping the backside stuff. That was a body double.
I never looked above the neck, so they could have been from the neck up. I wouldn't know. So yeah, so that's The Wicker Man.
You know you're going to watch it now.
That's amazing.
God. Okay, I've got a really weird viewing assignments coming up. I got to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm like, oh God, it's only an hour, but I can't. Oh, it's gonna be awful. I got that, but then I also got Mortal Kombat. I got to watch, and Nobody. I figure that's I got to review that for the channel. But everybody says it's pretty good. This is good. I like this. What's this?
This is I thought to myself, Ray Milland would have made a great werewolf.
Yeah.
You know, so I decided I did a story called The Wolf That Laughed, and it kind of ties into AILSA Dark. This is where I got the whole idea of the werewolves that were in AILSA Dark. And it was the idea of this scientist who has this disease called Talbot's disease. For all you fans of Universal Horror, you'll know the reference there.
Right.
So he's got Talbot's disease, and he's trying to find a cure. But in doing so, the blood that he uses, he ends up becoming a lycanthrope. So
it happens. It happens,
yeah.
kid.
And then there's a knock at his door one day, and the knock at the door is from somebody who says, "You're not the only one of your kind." And that leads into this story, which is about 13 pages long. And I kind of wanted to do a kind of very detailed black and white, kind of like old school, kind of like Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's got that very like Bernie Wrightson feel.
Yeah, so I'm remastering some of this to make it even more detailed and even more Bernie Wrightson like.
Yeah, nice. I do, nice. I do like it. Well, I say, let me get to. I'm half hour in. I haven't even looked at the chat. Wait. No, I should say hello to people. Herrenberg, how you doing? Herrenberg, you got to come back on the channel. These are wait, Willie, Matt, do you have a channel or not?
Nah.
Okay. Willie, you got to have Herrenberg on. They are the greatest guests. They are just fun. They really are.
Okay.
Probably see in the chat. Lovely card Nicole cover. Yo, she wasn't happy. Darren M, how you doing? Enigmatic Joker, how are you? Well, you're not that enigmatic. I can see you. First time here. Greetings. I'm very glad you're here. I hope I haven't chased you away as yet. Jonathan Cox, how are you? PD Rich, how are you? Matt C is there and he's here. It's like
I'm taking care of your chat. That's.
It's like I'm seeing you in 2 points of time. I feel like I'm Dr. Manhattan. This is so weird. Stephen Aaron, how you doing? Shalom, Toxic Fandom. How you doing, baby? Massey's still there. Oswald Biscuits, how you doing? Saying horror comics remind me of horror top trumps. Oh, now Willie, do a top trump add-on level. That would be freaking awesome.
That's a good idea. That's an interesting idea. Think about that.
AILSA Dark. What they? You do a bunch of. I have Reaper packs. The original can be very, very expensive. I think that sounds really cool. I mean, just make it look as much. Maybe put like fringing on it. It's like that.
Well, I've got a trading card already that people have unlocked in AILSA Dark. So I do have plans for more things like that. So I could build on the trading cards over the campaigns. Cool.
There you go. What's it? Stephen Arrow says Nancy Pelosi said George Floyd sacrificed. Oh, I shouldn't have said that on my channel. Sacrificed his life. She Speaker of the House, homicide victim, not sacrifice. What? I guess so. I don't know. I don't. The only one thing that's really freaking me out is how everyone's going after that guy, that policeman for shooting the girl, trying to on a stabbing spree. Right? That was crazy. There's this girl with a knife, and the cop like shoots her because she's stabbing somebody right there, and they're all saying, "Well, what? No, that doesn't seem to be police brutality to me." That was crazy, but there's still. That's one of the stories I looked at. It's Zoe Saladano is upset. I'm like, well, but what? So that's as far as I know there.
You know more than me.
Oh my god, it's so weird.
I've been trying to hide under a rock.
Look at the news soon. TARDIS time, how you doing? TARDIS time is always a good time. Eki Thump, every annual had a day. Even Beano had an annual, as did the Goodies annual. Yeah, just had weird like Metal Mickey annual. You can find you had. Don't ask what Metal Mickey was, Matt.
The Marvel ones were good though because they just reprinted American comic strips in color. A large format. They were good.
Yes, they were. I just jumped. Oswald Biscuit was talking about Oswald Biscuit, the Phantom Flamflinger. He was the Antifa gentleman who would buy everybody. GG Arena Chronicles, how are you doing, sir? Sidcup, North Kent, South London had a maypole until the date. I remember that because I come from North London. Until that is removed for being unsafe structure. I didn't know why they removed it, but okay. Hex Allen Comics is in the house. How are you, sir? I'm saying the word in the house indicates how horribly old I am. Okay. And Matt, you're the last guy in the chat. That's crazy. You can see the knife in the girl's hand about to stab the other girl. Yeah, okay. Once we get to the news, we'll look at that. But it's crazy. That's one of the craziest stories ever. Anyway, what's
this is the last page I want to share with you, because this is one of Bexy's pages. She's the other artist. So all my stories that I did for Tales of Mystery, I'm putting in. And I asked her if she was up for me putting in a couple of stories that she watched. So she's got an adaptation of The Raven, the poem from Edgar Allan Poe. She's also got this 2-page story, Exogamy. And this is the first page of that. She did this when she was one of my students at college, because I managed to get rope students into working on it, because I could integrate it into the course and they could work on something that was cool and fun, and kind of get points on it on the course. So this is a 2-page story from her, which is incredibly dark, and if you've got a sense of humour, quite witty as well.
It has been said.
So again, a whole variety of stories, different kind of like feels to each story. Even the ones that I'm drawing, as you've seen, kind of different feel to the way I'm approaching the artwork, depending on the story that I'm telling. And it should be fun. It's fun for all the family. That's
fun for all the family. There
exactly. Fun for all the family. So.
Very good. Fine. Listen, I feel bad. We're just going to quickly throw up your campaign, Matt. Talk about it for a few minutes, and then we're going to go on something else. But then we'll come back and have a longer, a longer what's his name, fondle of it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Because you have the Wild Tales of Kyrie. So tell me just briefly, what are the Wild Tales of Kyrie?
It's an anthology.
Sorry?
Yeah. It's an anthology. So
cool.
Over 2020, I fulfilled 2 books in a Kyrie graphic novel series. You can see them right on the right there. You can get them for just $35 USD. And
they are very good.
These are very good. Yeah. What did you write, or did the art, or both?
I did the art and the writing for the graphic novels, and then
because you got very distinct styles. I have to say, this page looks very different from like this page.
So the hush cat, so Wild Tales here, it's actually paid for with the profits from the 2 graphic novels. And that's me writing or co-writing, but then hiring artists that love from around the ecosystem that we operate in to draw these different short stories. So they're set in different time periods. They're all in the Kyrie verse.
Right.
And basically, what we do is it's Indiana Jones and ancient Rome is kind of what we're doing here. So high adventure.
This page is gorgeous. I love this page.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to stop you and say how good you were. No. Who did this page?
Her name is Kaden Rauk. She's a Ukrainian artist. She does really good stuff, and we're doing a train heist story where a group of Leninists and Japanese insurgents are fighting to get control of the remains of an ancient Japanese witch and her dragon, and they're trying to resurrect the dragon to fight to take over the world.
I really want to read that book. I love her work. Really do. Wow, this really. Look, sometimes you just see work and it just like it clicks. This is lovely. Really, really lovely work.
Yeah, and I do all the colors for these too. So
you do? You colored this as well?
Yeah,
what?
Yes.
Okay, I have to tell you, this what makes this page work is the color. It's just it is so good. Oh my god, this color look, the line works nice, it's solid, and you need it for him, but the coloring is what makes this thing sing. Really, it's really good. I mean, I love the
I really appreciate that.
Around the cheeks here. Very, very sorry. I far bit for me to infuse about your work.
No, from one creator to another.
Like imagine this black and white. It's just nowhere near the same. I mean, like the coloring you have around the eye. It's like really, really nice work.
Yeah,
anyway,
so
sorry.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate the vote of confidence. So it's already almost all completely drawn, and I just have to color it, so it fulfills the summer. We've got in Indian assassin story. We've got second Anglo-Afghan War story with Dr. Watson and 2 Rudyard Kipling characters that show up. That's in the ash can that you get for
cool. This
no
is
additional
cool.
fee.
My new book I'm working on is
I noticed. I saw some pith hats in that story of yours. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're having a lot of fun, as you can see. So I grew up overseas somewhat. That's kind of where I discovered comics. So.
Did you like move around a lot?
New Zealand and a bit of we went to Canada several times.
Okay.
And we had international friends and so I wasn't reading Spawn or something, so much as Tintin and Asterix and stuff like that. So,
right.
Historical fiction and adventure is kind of, that's what I thought comics were. And so that is a
this is really cool. I love this. The decoder ring.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I love it.
So you use the decoder ring to unlock discounts for future campaigns. So and it features, it's the treasure, it's the artifact in the ash can that Dr. Watson has to steal out of an Afghan warlord's tomb and get it before some Sikh lancers take it back to the Punjab. So you get to be a part of the story by backing at that tier. So.
All right, cool. So listen, we'll come back and we'll go over the tiers in more detail.
Oh, sure.
Let's have a look over here. There we go. Boink. So so this is for one of the extras in my campaign. It's the For the Male Gaze series, a series of, I call them art cards, based on my 12-year-old masturbatory fantasies. And boy, were they good. But anyway, that's not. I'll come back to this soon. This is the James Bond one. We'll talk. Do you like a bit of James Bond?
Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. Actually, but here, listen. As you were showing yourself, I wanted to pull this up. So this is a character sketch of one of the characters from my new book. Crown of the Empire, right? So this was a cosplay that I was talking to, what's her name, Cara Nicole, who was pissed off at me. So if I could get her, I wanted to find out how much would she charge to do a photo shoot. I thought we could use that for covers and stuff. Anyway, by the way, so that's why I pulled out that piece of artwork.
A little too bold.
But coming soon. Crown of the Empire. So anyway, keeping the British end up. I recommend it highly. Let me just go over Bounding into Comics. Let's see what Bounding into Comics has to say about what's going on in the world. Now, with NBA ratings in decline, Disney tries to provide a boost with Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do either of you care about this?
No.
No, that's not for me. Matt, is this something of any interest to you?
If I wanted to see attractive people being athletic, I'd go watch a Marvel movie. I don't need to watch basketball.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. You get a bit of a story with it, right? Bit of a story with that. But this one, so this is the other thing. Guardians of the Galaxy actually Solana calls for defunding police after police stopped stabbing in Columbus. What? I don't know how weird the world can be. Have you seen this video?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
It's crazy. I hope they just have a still of it. I don't know what to tell you. It's now racist to not to not let somebody stab somebody else. Okay.
How does this sort of thing compare to British and Israeli kind of perspectives on stabbings? I mean, you guys both have familiarity with violence.
It's the whole wokeism is filtered over here.
The whole what is?
Wokeism. So it's kind of beginning to taint a lot of the stuff in the media, or has been for a while. but we in Scotland have recently had a new hate crime bill passed. So I'm just going to pass this on to the Rabbi and say nothing.
Oh, yeah, well, let's not get you in trouble. That's understandable.
What are you passing on to me?
No, just I've just been funny, but that kind of shows you how it has taken root everywhere. I think.
Well, I've been predicting the apocalypse coming for a while. I just want to mention that I have been predicting the apocalypse coming for a while. I'm thinking I think in the next 3 weeks is when I think something's going to be there.
3 weeks.
The next 3 weeks, I'm going to get a lot more relaxed because I've honestly, for the last few months, I've been like, everything Emily needs to go. Is this it? Yeah. It's like,
oh my goodness.
It's like there's loads. I mean, there's problems that need sorting out, but they're never going to get sorted out when you have just ideologues shouting at each other. That's the problem that we have with everything that's popping up now. You can't have a discussion about it. It's whatever trends on Twitter, it's whatever's pushed as a hashtag, and it just goes. Then next week something else, and whatever pushes the mantra is what we have to deal with every day, and it's just all going to come ahead at some point, and it's hard to tell when.
It's just these things. We're inching closer to an abyss, but you know what you do. You know what you do when the apocalypse is coming. That's the time you want to buy your comics, right? That's the time. That's the time you're going to want to buy your comics.
Escapism and alcohol, guys.
I think.
Speed up my fulfillment time.
Have you seen the Mortal Kombat movie as yet, or are you planning to?
I missed it. I was going to go yesterday and I missed out, but it sounds pretty fun. It sounds like it's meeting fan expectations, you know. Well,
I mean, it's not. It's on HBO Max. I've already bought it. I'm gonna watch it. It's like, are you crazy? This was a good month's worth of supply. I got was it Godzilla versus Kong and this movie. I think that's worth your $15 right there. And I thought the Snyder Cut was worth $15 as well. I was like, yeah, totally on board. Although, big story. I heard their Warner Brothers will not be releasing Blu-ray or DVD from February 2022.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see.
Here's what they'll do. Here's what they'll do. They will third-party companies. They will farm it out for profit. So that other people, in the way that you get Arrow DVD doing video, doing Blu-rays, they'll do that because they're losing out on some money by not doing that. So I guess that's what will happen. They won't have to spend any money to produce them themselves, but some other third party will pay them money to put out special editions or limited editions. That's what will happen.
You think? Hang on, let's find the story. I'm just looking.
Because there is a collector's market out there for physical media.
Right.
I mean, they might be that stupid that they just don't do it.
But I mean, don't they want to discourage that market, right? Because that's a market they can't continue to monetize after they sell.
But you continue to see lesser titles turn up coming out by like Koch Media or smaller labels like that. You know, they get like the rights for a certain amount of time to certain titles that Warner Brothers or anybody aren't that bothered about. So if there's a demand there, somebody in the marketing department is going to say we're losing out on money here, or you know. So hopefully that's the case. I'm just a half glass full kind of guy.
Yeah. Are you still half full, or are you half? Well, let's see that glass. Half full. You've got a ways to go.
All right, so the headline is viral tweet
in the sale, Matt.
to phase out DVD beginning 2022.
That's amazing.
A new report emerged on social media yesterday claiming that Warner Brothers Entertainment intended to phase out physical media, so it's not confirmed, in earnest in 2022. Comments from animation historian Jerry Beck singled out Warner Brothers' print-on-demand service, Warner Archive, but went one step further and suggested that changes are coming to Warner Brothers as Warner's home entertainment options line wide. Okay, so Beck's comments specifically addressed Looney Tunes and other animation projects, which he frequently collaborates on, but suggested that a larger change at a corporate level, which seems to now be how most of the people reading the comments on Twitter are taking it. Well, Beck is not a representative of Warner Brothers. Fans are taking it pretty seriously. He has close ties with the blah, 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 Tex Avery, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What do they think it means? Saul spoke to Comic Book and blah, 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 blah. Bro, tell me what you bloody make. Hey. As of now, there are no plans to commemorate Daffy or Tweeter's anniversaries next year or ever. Okay, that does not sound good. The company is slowly transitioning from away from physical media. There are no plans for any classic cartoons on DVD or Blu-ray that I know. So yeah, they're basically saying it in the middle of which it might come out. I don't know. It seems like something they're trying out to try and get people to subscribe to HBO Max.
Yeah, they're throwing it out there, seeing what the reaction is. They're print on demand stuff that they do. I can't see them getting rid of that because they're already overpriced anyway. So they must be cheap for them to put out.
Right.
So you buy one of the print on demand ones. They're much more expensive than buying a new release Blu-ray or DVD.
So like what is print on demand with they have like any?
Well, you go to the Warner Archive website and you'll find that they've got like a new widescreen version of Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, on Blu-ray for like about $30 or something like that. They know it's only a collector that's going to go for that. You order it, it'll get printed, that one copy for you, it get put in the box and sent out to you.
Oh, okay, that's very cool.
Yeah, so you can get loads of stuff.
Honestly, I do print on demand with my Indiegogo. I like, that's essentially what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Okay, that's very cool. I think.
So they've got lots of like Tarzan movies, the ones that aren't Johnny Weissmuller or anything like that.
Right, and you're gonna have
all
like
that stuff.
The super fans want that, but
yeah,
it's not worth doing a run. That's cool. Man, I wish. Okay, so I wish they would remaster Blake 7. Remaster Blake 7, put it on Blu-ray. Okay, man, have you ever heard of Blake 7?
I've seen 3 seasons, and I was hoping you'd bring up Blake 7.
You know this thing? Blimey.
I only found out about it a year ago. I watched it throughout the first lockdown, and it's kind of too good, and it makes me kind of angry because it had the budget of like a 6th form play, but it's Shakespearean and it's quality, and there's just nothing. I can watch Winter Soldier, and it just looks like it's been scrolled together by a kindergartner compared to what you guys had going on 45 years ago. So I won't do that. It's so good.
I listen. The oldest. I mean, the current stuff. I think we're just in a fan of awfulness. That's basically where we are.
We are.
Blake 7 Blake 7 had a time slot at the time in the 70s. That it used to be a show called The Brothers that was on at that time slot as well. So it was a drama show that was like a modern day set in an office. But they allocated money to the department based on that time slot. So Blake 7 had the same budget that they had to make the show, which is basically just an everyday soap opera.
I thought it was Juliet Bravo or something they took over. Was it Softly? It was.
I think originally it was a 7:10 slot, so that would have been right about then. So what they did was Juliet Bravo was an ITV. That wasn't it?
No, Juliet Bravo was BBC.
Was that BBC? That would have been a 9 o'clock show. That would have been a 9 o'clock show. But same budget regardless of when it's on. I think they had like the same kind of light entertainment kind of budget. The Doctor Who was the same, wasn't it? They didn't have a large budget to work with. So they relied on good scripts, good themes, good acting.
Wasn't I always got the impression, following up on interviews and stuff, that Blake 7 was always looking over the hill at Doctor Who being filmed, like literally next door often, and seeing their bigger budget and their bigger attention. Blake 7 was always trying to catch up.
I think by the 4th season they had like a similar budget. So anyway, this might interest you. There's a company called Big Finish, and they do radio plays, so audio drama. They're not books and tape. They're basically like you listen to me, you feel like you're listening to Blake 7, right? Wow. And this has all the stars in here. I'll play you the trailer. If there's a video,
got sound effects and all that too. I guess it's more.
Yeah. I hear 1 second. More than sound effects. It's got like a full like.
Soon from Big Finish Productions.
Soundscape.
Blake 7.
This is great.
Spoils of war. So this is what freedom looks like.
No, not freedom. This is anarchy.
You may have to remind me of the difference. Why are we doing this, Dana? Jenna isn't here. She wasn't ever here, and this isn't our fight.
Against the Federation. I thought I was joining a band of revolutionaries. Well, here it is. Your revolution villa. This is what Blake was working towards, and you, from the moment you threw your lot in with him.
Attention unauthorized intruders. This station is now under Federation control.
What is it you hate so much about the Federation?
Are you serious?
I want to understand. It provides for its people, creates work, maintains law and order. At least it did.
There are better ways of doing that without using an iron fist. You can hear this, Callie?
I can hear you. Yes.
Out of my head.
I'm not in your head. You're in mine. Hello, Resta.
Yes?
It's been far too long, my sweetness.
Oh,
Hello, Kravis. Weapons ready. We don't know who or what might be waiting for us behind that door. Brace yourselves.
You!
I should have guessed. Big finish. We love stories.
Yeah, so it's I mean they're just very, very authentic. So anyway, you have this box set, and also you got like 2 seasons slotted into the end of, in between season 3, which are just freaking awesome. And they're I'm really enjoying them.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. I'll be buying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
I've got
stuff.
Serverland from Blake 7. Jacqueline Pierce. She's a character in the Tatty Bogleman. I cast her as one of the characters in the Tatty Bogleman.
Oh,
perfectly in there. Have you ever heard Space 1999? Are you familiar with that? Because they have lots of all these old shows like that. But anyway, fine.
It's so great. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great idea. Like, okay, so how does BBC do Star Wars, but make it a bit more adult? I guess was the idea, a little more risky.
It was kind of like it turned into like an amoral Star Trek by the second season. You know, it's like when they were like flying, but they were just like, we're going to do what we want. I'm one of the few people who actually like that full season. Most people don't, but I'm a bit of a fan. But
I just can't find it. I'm pretty sure I'd probably like it too. But first 3 seasons are on YouTube, and the 4th is strangely missing.
If I have it, I want to have it. If you want, I can upload it to my Google.
Oh,
You can take it from there. Yeah, I mean, look, you've been left at a bit of a cliffhanger, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, Blake died, and then it's just a big question mark for me.
Wait. That's it. Wait. That's not the end of season 3.
Is it? No,
that sounds like the end of. Wait.
What is that season 2?
Yeah, that would be 2, wouldn't it?
Right. Well, season 2.
I've got 2 seasons to get through now.
Was it like a big galactic war about to start? That was the end of season 2.
Yeah, and then they went down. Avon went down to a planet. I got a couple episodes of him. They found another girl. It was like an African girl who's like adopted daughter.
Then you're into season 3.
That's season 3.
And then, but I only got a couple of those before. You just can't find them. So a lot to catch. I got about 45 years of fan writing to catch up on, which is great because it's quality.
Season 3 gets in 4. They get a wee bit chintzy, a wee bit kind of. They're trying to compete with Buck Rogers and stuff like that.
Right.
But they're still good.
Well, so, I have to ask. Problem being, who says he's making cake? Is that code? Well, like I don't know what that means. Are you making a cake? Are you like? And like, what's going on? What's going on, mate? Please, we want to know. We may be witnessing a crime going on. I don't know. Fine. Let's have a look at the Wild Tales of Kyrie. We started looking at it. There you go. Do you have a video? Shall we play the video?
Yeah. Though it's yeah, sure.
There we go. Okay, my first question is this: how did you come up with that music?
There's a British website that does open source music that you can purchase for relatively cheap.
No, but why that music? It seemed I don't know. It seemed like
funky.
I want to know what your creative process was when you went. That's the one.
Why'd I go with bebop jazz?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How do you come up with say that?
Do you guys know Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
That was kind of my reasoning. Is you could give someone like a serious orchestral score, or you kind of do an interesting spin that's a little more fun and gives you a flavor of the we're here to give you an adventure, something that
Right. All right. Very cool. So I do. Yeah, this is the perk that really interests me because it's very cool. So because I think it's priced right as well. So talk me through. Is there a bigger picture of it down here? I think if I go down, there's better picture. Oh, is this the picture of that? This is the $4 perk, right?
Yeah. So this comes with it's both the comic, either holographic or gloss, and it's the same price. You get to choose.
Oh wait, so this is two versions of the same comic. How many pages is it?
It's 56 story pages.
Very cool. That's nice work. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that includes, so it's 44 plus the 12 in the ash can. So, and they're both bagged and boarded. 2 covers by me and 56 total story pages. And then
wait. So how many come? I'm sorry. Yes.
I
know. You're talking to a simple man. I'm trying to work this out.
It's only 3 p.m. here, but it's
getting with this package.
You're getting 4 stories across 2 comics. You're getting 2 magnets. You're getting a gold threaded patch. You're getting a camel hide koozie.
Okay.
You're getting original art that I draw 5x7.
Oh,
and you're getting the Dakota ring box with. All
right. I have a lot of questions. Right. At the ash can, is the ash can the same the same size as the comic?
It is.
Okay, that's why I was confused. I always had in my head ash cans are smaller.
Oh, are they? I'm still learning this Western comic. Like I didn't even know what ash can was.
Yeah, generally they used to be smaller, but they in the 90s you got them the same size as an American comic as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There you go. Fine.
80s style. Yep.
Okay. The Dakota ring box. How are you making those?
3D printed. And sorry, somehow my camera crashed, or I bring them back up again. But you could just if you scroll a bit down, you can just kind of look at them. So it's just I have a connection. I can hook you up with someone. I know that you're interested because you had George Peter Gatsis on a couple weeks ago. There's a lot of people doing 3D printing, and so I kind of hand paint this to look like patina copper kind of finish.
It's really cool. It's really good. I mean, this is why I'm impressed with it. It's not just hand painted. It's not just 3D printed and hand painted, but it's like it's got to have a mechanism in it to make it work. It's not I'm impressed that it's not just a one-piece thing. Right?
Yeah. It's two rings that independently move, just like a Dakota ring, and then you've got the thing that you can check your lineup, that passes around it. Yeah, and then it's got the little geary thing on the top.
Right.
So.
It's just fun. It's a really fun perk. I do like this.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. So
you get the Dakota ring box. You get this. This is a sticker.
A magnet. It's one of the characters in the story.
It's nice. It's nice. It's one of those like. Is it hard or is it soft?
It's soft. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the designer. I like the colors. And you get the Kyrie. That's a patch.
Yeah. So this is called Rubicon Club patch. I mean the perk. So you're kind of crossing the Rubicon. You're committing, to future campaigns, and so I make it worth your while by giving you.
Honestly, this is priced so well. I think this I think it's very, very, very reasonable. And you get this is another magnet or a sticker.
They're all magnets. Yeah, I just figure magnets are nice. It's like reusable stickers. Why go? Sticker
I agree. I do agree. And you get one of these camel skin beverage coolers or
yeah. With an asterisk. It's faux suede, but they're really nice. They're very high quality. Yeah.
Hey. Very cool. I tell you, that's honestly, that's a great package. And is you ship internationally, right?
Yeah, I do. And I tell you, so I've been talking to some internationals, and I have a confession, Rabbi. Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Can I confess to you?
Yeah, tell me, my son. Bless you. Yes, come on.
Yeah. I priced this.
I'm gonna do the star.
Please. Yeah.
We're doing. I don't know where I am.
I love it. Can we get the full tree of life going? Maybe, I don't know. I love it. So I priced it too cheaply because I'm realizing there are a lot of international people who they don't want to pay more for shipping than they are for the comic themselves, which I 100% understand.
Yeah. That is the problem with like all this cool stuff, right?
Yeah. So I have people in my DM saying, the difference between, say, like at the point of purchase, let's say you guys are going to pay $40 for something from the US, that's shipping plus the product, But I think a lot of people want the product to be $25, the shipping to be $15, rather than the shipping to be $25 and the product to be $15.
Yeah,
even though it's just made up. Yeah, I could say it's
difference.
Like George Peter Gatzis is selling a $50 comic and free shipping, but it's the same. You can break it down any way you want. I could say I'm giving you a free comic and it's $50 shipping. But it's I'm still going to pay $26 at the post office. So.
That shipping just sticks in people's craw. It really does.
Yeah,
so how much is it in international shipping on it?
So it's 26.
That's it?
Yeah, but it's only 26.
That isn't high.
because the basic comic is just 15. But the Rubicon Club, I don't. It's the same price.
$26 on a 15 comic, yeah. On $26 on a 49 package, that's not bad.
It's the same. So
I think that's the main problem with people, because I know when I'm backing, which is why I always give a digital option, because sometimes you go through, I really want this, I just want the comic. You go through and it's like it's more expensive for the shipping than the comic, and you think, oh, my bank, can I really afford this right now? Something like this, being able to do that kind of shipping with something like this is great. If you can manage that. But I did the same kind of thing with I've got the dark box and AILSA Dark. I'm taking a wee hit on that simply because I've offered free shipping. So rather than hiking the price up on it, because if you break it all down, rather than hiking the price up on it, I throw in an original drawing so that people, are really getting something for their money. Yeah. So there are different ways of trying to get around it and also give people extra.
Was that? Where was it? You also get an original drawing, don't you, with this?
Yeah, well, I've kind of learned like that's it doesn't cost me money to draw you some art, but it adds value. So
it adds a lot of value. It adds a lot of value.
That's exactly my thinking as well. That's cool.
Look, $75 for this it's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's original. Look, the original art makes it. The original art is worth a fair whack in it. That adds a $20 value minimum. Yeah. And the bling has value. See, what I did to get around shipping is because I don't have any of these like big clunky things. Like it's all printed material. I'm printing in several locations. Like so, I get local shipping in England, US, Canada, Ireland, where else? Australia, New Zealand. So I basically got local shipping from most of the major, like Europe and like Middle East, not so much, and Africa, no, can't help you out. What can I tell you?
Yeah, well, that's do you think? I think that's probably going to be by the end of 2021, provided there's no apocalypse. I think a lot of people are going to be figuring out how to.
By the end of 2021, for sure, there's apocalypse. Okay, but I 2021. I'm not. Yeah, if it hits September and it's not, if it hits September and there's no sign of apocalypse, I will. I will admit. Okay, at that point,
I sent something in the private chat I think you might like. So this is the sort of thing I'll be drawing for people if they're interested.
Right now. This is really cool. 1 second.
I did this for an international. Last year I was drawing for international backers, just like Wullie. I was doing some art for people overseas just for backing my previous campaign. And I'm doing this sort of thing for the Rubicon Club too. So that's when I just found out what Blake 7 was. And got a season, I think that's a season 1 haircut for Avon, but
so by season 3, and they do it a little bit in season 2. Avon and Surfland get into this weird S&M relationship.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Now you can guess why he likes season 3 and 4 more than other people.
No, season 4 is the best episode ever. Where it basically, I'm not spoiling it for you. This is the premise of the episode where Avon and Villa are on a crashing shuttlecraft, and there's there's something on it that's making them crash, and they got to get rid of 70 odd kilos. And so Avon's looking for Villa to kill him and throw his body out. Right? That's the majority of the episode. It's awesome.
You don't get that in Star Trek Discovery.
No, you don't.
It's a really good episode.
Yeah, what if the Federation was a fascist empire? It's great. It's beautiful.
Right, exactly.
And all the rebels are kind of horrible people, but
exactly.
You still root for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
wonderful. That's cool.
Go back to your campaign.
Yeah, so we're having fun with this. So it's
So this original art, you can't get. Is there anything, or is it some different prescribed things?
Yeah, anything. I'm not very good at the NSFW, but other than that,
okay.
That's the 614th rule, Rabbi. Is no NSFW. That's a perfectly reasonable stipulation to make. If you don't mind me saying so. But I'll do anything else. Anything else.
Okay. Hopefully, people won't be asking about it too much. Okay, 1 second. Now, let me ask you: if somebody, let's say you order a giant penis cake, right? You go into let's say you go and you order a giant penis cake, right? For your it's a birthday. You do, right? And they give you a giant black penis cake. Are you now allowed to complain? Because you wanted a white penis.
Which country?
I would. Yeah. It's,
no, you can't complain about that. You didn't specify the color, so you're stuck with it.
I guess so. Okay. Or no. Okay. If you do specify the color, does that make you racist?
Well, these days it depends what color you are, whether that makes you racist or not.
Oh, I guess so. If you say white, you're racist. If you say black, it's not racist.
Yeah.
I think that's
you've opened up a whole can of worms, so to speak, with the penis cake.
I didn't open it up, did I? I'm just an innocent observer. Okay, wait. Boy, it used to be boys and boys and boys and girls and girls. What happened? Everything changed.
Yeah. Is this how you got demonetized? I heard about that.
Yes, pretty much so. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not sure they're right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not sure you're right. Fine. Let's look at your other tiers. So yes, you can get this all in digital. A scant $7, it can be yours. We have the. I'm trying to decide if to put mine into digital or not. I don't know. I keep going backwards and forwards on it.
Just don't undersell yourself in digital, because
Yeah.
But it's worth doing it. Some people just can't afford to.
Maybe I
that money.
would do it like both books are $35, so it's still roughly the same price.
Yeah.
And I guess you figured out. I mean, the only reason we're doing digital, I feel like, is because we haven't figured out what you figured out, which is how to print the same campaign across, like, in multiple countries simultaneously and fulfill from those countries. If we can figure that out.
So fulfilling, this is a real easy trick I learned. I'm using Mixam printers. So I just can you mail the let's say mail this out to multiple addresses, this order I'm giving you, you give me a quote for, and they said yeah, sure. So I mean, literally, can you lay them out to infinite addresses? Like, it was 100 people order, you'll mail them out to 100 people. I said sure. Would you be able to give me a price on that? And then yeah, sure, no problem. Then I have my fulfillment company right there. It's like,
wow.
I'm sending my American stuff to what's the girls? John Malin, just because I like the whole package, the Gemini mailer, and so I want to have one for that, and I just like that look and that feel. But mainly it's going to be the bubble wrap that the printer uses.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah, because Mixam is they do have a UK office and a Chicago and I think a Canada even. So I guess you order a certain number and then are you saying that you split? So say you're ordering 100 books and you say I want 25 printed in the UK and I want 25 printed in the US.
The way I priced it out is how much is it to print 10 in each location, which I got orders to fulfill that now, right? And minimally 10. So that's how I did, and then I worked out shipping from each location with it locally, and so I could give a reasonable number. Now, it might work out that because I'm printing more in the UK, cheaper to mail it to Australia from the UK than to print it on Australia and mail it within Australia. Whatever comes out cheaper, we'll do. So it's Australia, Canada is crazy. Canada has all this import duties. That is a nightmare. It's probably cheaper to print. Even if you're printing 5 in Canada, it's probably worth it.
Wow.
Because they will, their shipping adds on $20.
Yeah. Well, they certainly do. Even here, they do. So
yeah, those crazy Canucks. So anyway, $15 is the basic price for the comics, right? That's if you just want your standard level. And then for $20, it's a holographic cover. Tell me more. How's this holographic? What happens?
It's a has a holographic, a radial burst on the.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty beautiful. Again, if my camera hadn't crashed, I could show you an example.
You don't mean to be coy about it.
Yeah, I promise. I'm very confident about the beauty of it. But yeah, I think some people, it's something I'm doing for these campaigns now. After doing a couple of them and fulfilling a couple of them and giving kind of the one size fits all, where everyone is getting bonus goodies, and we do a stretch goal where everyone gets everything. I've kind of learned, a lot of people, they appreciate a lot of the extras maybe, but it kind of gets tipped in the bin, as you guys say, at least for 90% of these.
We don't say that. What does that mean? Tipped in the bin?
No.
Well,
Thrown in the trash. That's what.
Okay. Tipped in the bin. I don't know.
No, isn't that no, okay?
That sounds like some
just something Captain Cockney Spock might say.
Just say binned. Gets binned. Yeah.
Just gets bin.
Okay, tips in the bin sounds like an expression that gay people would use in the 1960s to have assignations in the play. Like, hello, sir. Tips in the bin. Yeah,
and then somebody would pull out a penis cake, and that's it.
And they said, "But I didn't want a black one."
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's a strange world we live in. Strange world we live in. Okay, fine. So you have the video first. So then we got the graphic novels. Tell me more. What are these graphic novels?
Yes, you can order them by themselves, or you can add them for no additional postage to your order.
All right. So these are the original things that these came from, right?
Yeah, these are drawn and written by me. It's 280 pages for just $35. So too big. Yeah, pretty thick, beefy books. Everyone loves the writing. People love the colors. Have a bit of a weird drawing style, which is one of the reasons why I'm hiring other people to do short stories.
I do like your artwork. I mean, this is your stuff, right?
If you go to the very bottom, you'll see an example of my. It's a little more Tintin-y. Well, the covers are mine. I'll say that.
Is this one yours?
No, that's Jose Garcia. He's an amazing Mexican artist. Yeah, so the covers are mine. Yep.
See, this is good.
Yeah. Well, it's a little more Euro style, and Americans sometimes don't know what to do with the lean clear approach. But
do you have any your interior art on the campaign?
Yeah, if you go as far down as you can.
Okay, dude. There's a weird psychology going on there. Don't put your stuff down at the bottom.
Well, yeah, it's less.
I like it. It's good. You're right. It's got that Tintin-y feel.
Yep.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Asterix Tintin sort of influences. Yeah.
You shouldn't put your stuff at the bottom. I listen. I think the other artists are fine. I think this is I would say some of the best art on the book. I mean, I don't want to denigrate anybody else, but I like it's
okay. Maybe I misread the criticism. That's fine. That's okay. Well, thank you.
Here's what you do: you ignore critics, you take in what they say, and if you agree with something they say, then you implement it. If you don't really agree with it, you just politely take in their criticism and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because especially when it comes to campaigns on Twitter, where the majority of the people looking at these campaigns, especially like Northern American kind of buyers, are coming at it from a Marvel and DC perspective.
Yeah.
So they're looking for something different. So if you're aware of that, so bump your own stuff up a wee bit. It looks great.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I think you should be proud and excited to display it. I really do. And again, I'm not denigrating your other artists. They're all great, but I think your stuff's great too.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
That's what's nice about an anthology like this. You get the same approach I've got. Different styles for different stories. And there's something there for everybody. It's great.
Yeah, that variety. I think it's a great way to bring people in because you can offer them, your tome, your magnum opus, and maybe a lot of people would appreciate that story, but they don't necessarily have an in, where maybe the style isn't what they're used to or something. So you can do an anthology, like you've done, Willie, and I've done here, where you can just you can give a bit more variety that kind of each story has a big beginning, middle, and end, and gives you a more of a smorgasbord of flavors, and but kind of gets you a little more familiarized with what sort of comics you put out and what sort of universe you're playing with, so that they can maybe try your bigger stuff. So
very cool. Fine. Let's keep going through your tiers. So we got to. I mean, honestly, if I'm getting the $49 pack, I would have these on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and same shipping. So
exactly. Really?
Does not go up.
That's totally worth it. I mean, then it's a nice size package. She cried. So then, you do 8 by 10 piece of original art. And again, this is a further 8x10 original art if you get the $49 deal. Well, yeah, it's a smaller piece. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then for $100, you get original page.
Yeah. So a lot of variety. You know, I think it's funny. Like, there's a lot of, I mean, you guys over in the UK and beyond. I mean, really, anyone outside of the US understands this, but inside the US, it's funny. Like the CG USA types. You know, we have a very particular. We had the Comics Code Authority, and we had a lot of constricting of the sort of variety of that comics were allowed to be here in the States for a few decades, and that kind of led to, you know, a constriction of what expectations were on what comics can and can't be here.
Right.
But it's funny, like now that people have kind of, I think there's like sorry, it's like an exodus. There's an immigration out of the local comic shop and into this indie crowdfunding sphere, and people, they're finding this there's a new land that they're going to, and a lot of these creators, even though they've grown up on Spider-Man their whole life, they're not writing superhero comics once they get into the sphere. I mean, most of them it over here, and you'd expect them to have just said, you know, I'm missing out on Superman. I don't like Superman anymore from where the stories are going, so I'm going to write my own Superman. But they're not. They're writing adventure stories, most of them.
Well, yeah,
you know?
so
that's kind of
funny.
fun.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because that's exactly the sort of stuff that I'm planning on doing. Like I got my campaign. You know what? I'll stop talking myself. I'll put this is a decent segue. This is actually a natural segue. I'm going to use it, baby. 1 second. Let me go over here.
I'm putting AILSA Dark in the chat. I'm getting that up as well.
There you go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's still in demand, right, AILSA Dark?
It's
right?
still in demand. So
Fine.
Yep.
So after
Another great segue.
After we finish this, we'll go and look at that. Okay. So anyway, what? Because I'm doing this. My first campaign is doing 2 books. It's a terrible idea. Never do 2 books as your campaign, because people it like diffuses the focus. So you have 1 book, it's much better. But I'm trying to brand myself. So the next campaign I want to do, I'm toying. Well, next campaign has already dropped, but the one after that, I'm toying. I'm veering between doing a Superman book or a James Bond book. I could go either way.
Oh, great.
And the thing is, yeah, you just do your own version of it, right? It's the if I do a Superman book, it'd be kind of like sort of semi-anthology. And basically, that world Superman, he's being interviewed by that universe. It's their own universe's version of it. So I don't get for stealing the character, but essentially Superman, right? So he's being interviewed by Lois Lane in their Fortress of Solitude, which is in the lower orbit in my one, right? And Mr. McPlisnick shows up, hits him with a reality ray, and he's in. Then he goes boom, and next thing you know, he's in a 1930s Superman comic, right? And the narrative continues, but in that field, and then he breaks out. That gets into a 1950s comic. Breaks out, that gets into a 1970s, and from 80s, and so you get a feeling on Superman throughout the ages until he gets back to Superman. Superman being so. But yeah, so it's interesting that you say they're running away from it. That's actually what I want to do. That's one of the things I would like to do.
Oh, that's fun. That's pretty meta. That's a good celebration of comics throughout the years. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I wanted to be about all things Superman, unless I do the James Bond book, which is I'm going. It depends. I get a feeling that again, this is all. Here's the weirdest of my life. I'm living my life as if the world won't end. Right? I'm living my life as if I think the world won't end when I actually really do believe it's going to end. But yeah, it brings me hope for a problem. Right?
I would go with the Superman book simply because it has the visual appeal of a superhero story. So you widen your appeal online, especially in America, because it has that look already, even if that's not what it is.
What are we talking about? Sorry, you lost me.
Well, you're thinking of doing your Superman variation or your James Bond variation,
right?
I would go with the Superman one first, because I think it's going to have a wider appeal, because visually people will see a superhero. So regardless of whether the story is deconstructing it or doing it the way you think it should be done, doesn't matter. Visually, they're tied in because they see a superhero. So I would probably go that route with first.
Yeah, you're probably. Well, it's gonna be third. Right, again, I'm 45 pages into my new book. I think so. I'm pretty committed. Although I would have other authors doing that book. So anyway, fine. Let me just talk about my book. So these two books you can get are firstly The Imperium, a love letter to telefantasy of the 1960s. It's essentially James Bond, Emma Peel. So yeah. Had I not pissed that woman off royally, right? I was trying to get a sexy Emma Peel cover for it. Like imagine this, like basically a sexy spy girl with an umbrella and a bowler hat. That's basically. And then I thought that would probably sell. People would like that. Alas.
Do I see what's the show where the guy is in a nice little continental village? He's been abducted and he's stuck there, and there's a big white balloon.
Yeah,
I saw some of that too. That's great. I recognize some references there. So
yeah, because I think I wanted it to be about 60s genre TV, which and the titles of Prisoner are the ultimate 60s titles, I think. It opens up with him, and he's humming his own theme tune. Right, as he's trying to go, dun, 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 and then James Bond ends him, right, and he's humming his own theme tune as he's in a car with three young ladies, as one of them starts to go down on him, and the other two ladies are clearly very attracted to each other in the back seat. Yeah, and he's like, and the prisoner's like, I got your number, Sonny, I've got your number. So say again, this is a love letter to telefantasy 1950. Dominic Ratcho did the artwork. I said, let's do James Bond, but let's do him as John Hamm, because why not? I thought Patrick Troughton, Doctor Who, a monkey in a spacesuit. A monkey in a spacesuit's just sixes to me, baby. Yeah. And the Black Slab from 2001 in one fantastic mind-bending narrative involving invading alien entities, sexual revolutions, and toilet paper. Right? All these things are vitally important to the plot. So that's the first one. It's 105 pages long.
Nice, pretty beefy. Yeah,
I like it thick, babe. Never mind the quality. And the other book, this is 220 pages long. It's 180 pages of story. It's called Biblical Bible Stories: Atheists, Creationists, Rationalists, and Rogues. It's
I've heard of this one. Yeah.
Oh, good. Wow. I'm glad it's doing the round. So this is basically like one of those early Vertigo books, which is kind of my favorite era of comics. It's aimed at everybody, whether you're religious, not religious, wherever you are in the theological world. It's not doing polemics or like trying to Bible thump and tell you things, but it's just incredibly biblically accurate and does tell us a good story. It goes from the Tower of Babel, the flood, and the Book of Jonah all together in one seamless narrative. So there you go. They're my books. And of course, let's whiz through my. If you buy both books, you get a bunch of extras. You can buy the extras on your own for $10, but buy my books. I want you to read them. So as I said, we have Keeping the British End Up, the fantastic James Bond card. Again, the last line of my favorite James Bond movie, Spy Love Me. We have Party, like it's 1999. Oh yeah, so you've never seen Space 1999? You'll probably like that a lot.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
You
got to like this. Is that one?
Well, sort of. I mean, other than the young lady not wearing any clothes, like everything other than that, it does look like this. So he's got the background just perfect. That is how Moonbase Alpha looks. Now, for some reason, she's taken all her clothes off. We're not sure why, but we're quite happy about it, right? We're not going to question. We're not going to ask questions. We're just going to say thank you. Have you ever read much 2000 AD?
I know of it a lot.
Okay.
I have immense respect from a distance. Yeah.
Fine. So be distant no longer. Be distant no longer. The next one is Don't Even Think It's Citizen. This is Judge Anderson, a side judge from Judge Dredd. The main strip in 2008, I would say. Now, Judge Anderson, as you can tell, it's a cold morning. It's a cold morning outside Mega City 1. But she's highly trained to withstand any and all problems that she may face. So there you go. That's Don't Even Think It's Citizen. My personal favorite, because this looms large in my legend. Is no hanky panky in the TARDIS. This is an actual companion wearing her actual costume that she wore once and talked to. I added the hills on. The hills was my own invention. I added the hills, but so the producer at the time, he was a homosexual gentleman, and this this young lady, she wore a very sexualized outfit. It was very short shorts and a very, very tight spandex top. And they said of her, she said of her outfit, it was a gay man's idea of what was sexy, a gay man and a 12-year-old boy. Because she's been caught forever in my spank bank. And he said, of this era, there's no hanky-panky in the TARDIS. This there is in my wonderful fan fiction. Do you like the hanky-panky in the TARDIS, Perry? Yes, I do. Do you want to jump up and down on a trampoline? Yes, I do. Will that make you happy, Rabbi? Yes. See, I got so excited, I got my voices confused. Then we had an add-on card. This one I call I'm Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain. I'm Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain, and for good reason. And for good reason, Councillor Troy. I feel counselled already. I feel your counselling is working. So thank you very much, Councillor Troy. And finally, one that I am just proud as punch with. I added this one on for no reason whatsoever, other than I just love my backers. I love my audience. This one we call The Force is Female, and the Force is so very, very female. Princess Leia looks very happy, thinking, "Oh, I don't have to think about that pesky revolution anymore. Oh, my life's so much easier." Jabba the Hutt's like, "Yeah, baby." Bib Fortuna, not that interested, but Silas C. Crumb say, "I'm gonna get crazy, baby. I'm going to get crazy." Yes, you are, Silas C. Crumb. I can see that. Interesting point about this card, though, is in the background we see Jabba's palace, so which makes me think this is either a mural wall of the house he's in at the time, which would be a strange thing for a man to do, but okay, or it's a little shagging pad he has overlooking his his main castle. That's the Force is Female. Once we hit $8,000, everyone's going to get this poster thrown in. Right now, it's an add-on. It's $3. This is big. This is 18 by 24. I think is 82. If we hit $12,000, everybody gets this poster thrown in. Called The Eyes Have It. I say the last Doctor Who. There's another one right now. I don't really call that Doctor Who. And then you also have this one, Great Balls of Fire. Great Balls of Fire. We've got another poster coming very soon. Princess Leia, what do you think? Do you like these? 1 second, I can't hear you, Princess Leia. Do you like these? Yes, I do. I like them a lot. Well, you have a lot of good taste there, Princess Leia. I can't argue with it. Fine. Somebody sent me. Let's see what's going on in the price chat. So we've got Hip Flonk over here, and we're going to see still in demand. People demand it. People are demanding it, and I think their demands need to be met. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I'd be really cool if I could get some retweets or a wee bit of push for this to kind of get me to the next stretch goal, because it's Stato's print. So if you scroll down, we'll see Stato's print, which is a gorgeous sort, because everything in this campaign is me. It's my artwork and writing and lettering and everything. And then Stato's done this gorgeous print for me. It was just kind of retro 1960s print.
But I do like this. The design of these. I like these pages.
Cheers. Yeah, we're a werewolf with a monocle and a mustache. Come on, who doesn't win that?
Exactly. I love how fun your work is, right?
Well, I'm trying to channel Bronze Age comics. You know, if from the American stuff, it's the Bronze Age was my decade. That's when I was like just sinking my teeth as a kid and reading everything that was coming out. So I'm trying to channel that in this. It's got that kind of feel. It's got kind of melodramatic feel. That's the print. So that's Statistical Zero's AILSA dark print. That'll be like a cracking, really high quality sort of print there. So anybody that backs this now, you've already got the stretch goals that are there. So you've got the Tatty Boberman once you print. It is printed. It's out there. I've got it lying about here somewhere. I've already got it printed, ready to go. Cool. You'll get the trading card as well for the BAMPOT, for one of the BAMPOTs that's in it.
I like that. Let me just show those because this is it, right?
Yeah, so that's the BAMPOT bonus. We put that in there when we got to 3,000. Everybody gets that.
I love that one.
There's
Nice
two
and simple.
BAMPOTs. There's two BAMPOTs in the comic, so kind of need to get to this stretch goal for statistical zero because you can't just have one BAMPOT in the campaign. So I want to get to the next BAMPOT bonus. I've got one in mind, and I hope to get there before the campaign closes.
I just had a look when I started. Where you're at? You're £220 away. £229 away. Yeah,
it's like I think we can do it. I've not been doing a lot of shows. I've not been pushing it. I'm going to start doing a few more now that I want to push the mailing list. But also, if people can kind of, alas, you missed out in the Tatty Bogleman cover. That was a 24-hour variant that people.
Yeah, I love that. The trouble, I think you should incorporate that as a print in a next book.
Yeah, that might be something that could be quite nice as a print or a postcard or something for the next campaign.
Oh, how about a double-sided postcard with AILSA Dark on one side? You turn it over, it's Tatty Bogleman.
That's a cool idea, right? Or even sometimes you get like those folded posters where you can get the choice of posters. I might do something like that.
Right.
Quite cool. Yeah, choose your cover. Yeah. But so yeah, I keep saying I'm going to add another piece of original art, and I will do it before the next campaign starts. But I'm too busy to do an original piece of art for it right now.
I totally hear you. Look, I've totally taken the foot off the gas on my campaign while I'm waiting to wrap it up. I want to do like a focused week or two, and then end the campaign, and then launch the mailing list for the new one. Right? But when you take your foot off the gas, it just it stops.
Yeah, but you have to do that every now and then. You just have to.
Yeah, listen, you can't.
Yeah, I think I've got.
You do like a 2-month run, and that's the most anybody can do, I think.
Yeah.
Matt, how long has your campaign been running? It's like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah, and I'm just gonna do the 30, and I'm gonna go in demand. But after the 30, I'm gonna cut off the Rubicon Club because those have they've kind of outsold my expectations. So, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah, I like that print. So, what level is that with?
Everybody gets that. That was his first stretch goal. Everybody
gets
it. Even in demand. If you're in demand, you still get the stretch goals. So that's going to everybody.
I thought that was a trading card.
No, that as you saw there. It's an A4 print, and I've had it kind of framed there like now, and it looks quite nice when it's framed. The trading card is the BAMPOT bonus, which came before that. So I'm hoping that we get to Stato's AILSA Dark print, because then I'm going to have another BAMPOT trading card that I can bring into play.
So listen, I think when you start plugging it again, listen, £220. I reckon you'll get there.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, that's why I've not been out there kind of pushing it. Even on social media, I've not been sending that many out. I don't want to kind of lose followers because I'm bombarding them with ads. But yeah.
Yeah, that's always the wager you make, isn't it? Like I have people emailing me saying from my mailing list saying I'm unsubscribing. I got 2 emails in 2 days that you just launched your campaign. And then I get other people saying, was there a discount code in the email list? Because I haven't checked my email in 7 days and I haven't seen it, so it's, what are you going to do? Yeah,
it's weird. I've seen over the last few weeks, people who backed the first campaign have backed me over the last couple of weeks because the first campaign was done and fulfilled. And so I think some people see when it's going to fulfill, and they kind of know that it goes into demand.
Right.
Yeah, and they hold off and they think, I'll get that just before he's ready to fulfill it. So I know that happens as well when you get that.
That's another reason I want to do the in my campaign, because I want to fulfill it, it's basically ready to go. The quicker you can turn around and deliver, the better your sales going to be in the future. I hope. I mean, it seems logical, but I hope that's where I am.
Yeah, onward and upward. Yeah.
Very cool. So, is there going to be a time when you think this is going to be you're taking this off on demand?
Once in production for putting together once I've got everything posted out for this, and probably even before then, I'll take it off in demand. I did that with the first one. I take it down. I could have kept it going all this time, but what I did was I took the first 2 comics from the first campaign, included them in this, so that's a featured tier. You get all 3 comics, and that gives you the complete story. And once this is done, I will take it off in demand, and you will never get it in this format again. So they're never going to be floppies.
We don't care how much you beg. Get off your knees.
Only through Indiegogo. People that get this for Indiegogo, that's the only way you're going to get this. So if I do release it again and as a collection, a compendium or anything like that, it will be a different format. And it won't be quite the same.
I just want to point out why you should try and keep an eye on the chat. I have no idea what's going on, but this is an interesting chat. London premiere, Harrison and 17-year-old Carrie Fisher behind the giant Star Wars sign snorting coke while the fans were on the other side. I don't know if that's true, but that's a fantastic story. Okay.
It's true. It's definitely true. It's definitely true about one of them, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
That's funny.
Is your cat?
Hey, okay, that's it. I'm coming. It's 5 to 11 for me. I'm an old man. I want to go to bed. Okay, that's basically what's going down. Is there anything anybody else would like to highlight or talk about? Is there anything going on in the world? Is there any, does anybody have any crushing theological questions they want to put to me? You name it. The floor is open.
I want to know where. I'm cracking open my Zohar. I'm trying to find where these apocalyptic prophecies are that you keep referring to.
Okay, fine. So
if everyone's interested in that, I don't know.
Okay, listen. Oh man, you got to go back a while. Listen, essentially. Oh man,
I feel like I'm getting you to explain the joke, and then the joke won't be funny.
Honestly, I just believe I believe in God, right? I believe in God, and I think God controls the world. But God allows us free will mostly, except when choosing kings, and you can always see there's always a purpose. When modern day when God chooses a king, anoints a new king, so like you can see, and again, this is just the way I look at the world. I may be crazy, which is fair enough, but I can see the hand of God putting Obama into power, and you go, well, why would that be? And whenever I see real life events, I go, why would God be doing that? So generally speaking, the world is very, very polarized into 2 sides. I think the side of one side that kind of is okay with God's existence and without being too on board with it, generally speaking, are okay with the Judeo-Christian values, and traditional American values. I would say they're okay with it. The other side of the aisle hates all of that. They actually they hate any form of it, to the point where I think the dislike of the traditional definition of genders, it has somewhat of a biblical context. It's one of the few areas that science and religion agrees. But okay, whatever. I just see there a war on any Judeo-Christian values. So with the previous president, he was a strange champion of those values, and a champion that is kind of traditional that you would see, because it's always something that the Satan wouldn't expect. So it said of King David, a previous messianic figure, that he came from a union of who was it? Of incest, and came from something called Moab, which it's a whole long story. There's just a lot that's going on. So anyway, but it's always somebody that you will go, that cannot be a crusader for good in any way. so you had the previous president, a little bit of a sleazy guy. I kind of liked him being sleazy. It didn't really bother me, right? But he was generally speaking a champion for these Judeo-Christian values. I think the election was a bit funny, right? I think the election was a bit funny. I think from my worldview that God allowed that to happen. Whatever, God allowed. If there was anything that wasn't kosher, not saying there was, I have no evidence, but if there was anything not kosher, I think God allowed that to happen. So you got to ask yourself why. Why would God allow that to happen? So there's an idea just before the end of days that there will be a for a messianic age to be initiated. You've got to have a great sacrifice to the Satan, right? To Satan. So I propose the ideal that was America as a world leader was that sacrifice, right? That's what it seems to me. Not that any nation really lives up to its ideal, but that ideal of the strong helping the weak, of there being a government for and by the people, there being liberty and justice for all, that's essentially gone now. And I think that was we call it a Corban Jewish in Judaism. That was the sacrifice to the Satan to satiate him to allow the end of days to happen. However, we're not going the warm. I don't think we're going the warm, fluffy route. I think it's going to be quite. There's called the travails at the end of the day, which I think we're kind of experiencing. So why do I think it's going to happen in the next few weeks? If it happens, we're in a period of time right now called the Omer, which is it starts at Passover and goes all the way to the holiday of Shavuot, which is when God appeared at Mount Sinai. It's the end of the 10 Commandments. When Charlton Heston comes down, well, I have these 10 Commandments. Okay, that's holiday, right? So that's the 49-day period. 49-day period is called the Omer. It's supposed to have a great deal of spiritual power to it. That if you put effort into something, then God will put more effort into it for you. It's a building blocks of reality on a Kabbalistic level, shall we say? So anyway, this period on the 33rd day reaches. It's kind of like that's when it's like really established. So if there is something if the spiritual dimensions are using this period to build a time to bring us to a messianic, which it's also prophesied that it's going to happen right at the beginning, or the Jewish New Year's in September, and it's something called a Shemitah year, which is when the Messiah is supposed to arrive. Whatever, they happen once every 7 years. So if anything is going to go down, it will probably be by the 33rd day. And if nothing happens by then, I'll go like, well, this is everything I said is just crazy, and that's just fine. Everybody who has prophesied the end of days has been wrong. Right? Everybody's walking around with signs saying the end is nigh. I am completely aware of that. Okay,
to be in good company.
But at the same time, over the last few weeks, I just feel us creeping closer and closer to a brink and oblivion. Right, so like anything could happen. Whenever I try not to listen to the news, but when anything goes on in the news, I go, "Is this it?" Oh, you're like, I think anything could spark it, right? So again, if we reach 2-3 weeks from now and nothing's happened at all, I'm going to relax quite a lot. I hope that's my my firm hope. Assuming the end of days hasn't started to happen, and then shooting cats and the world's end, that sort of thing. But I don't think the end of days is going to be quite like have you seen the movie This Is the End, the Seth Rogen movie?
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be like this, but different attitudes in the world. But so anyway, that's why I think the apocalypse may be coming. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely, thank you. That was pretty interesting.
That was just a crypto version.
Yeah, it's a good climax to this stream. Thanks.
Yeah. That's what
apocalyptic.
I always like a good climax, but I have to say to you, anytime I reach a climax, I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'm pretty happy with all of them. I've never had a climax I go, I can live without that. No, I love all of them. All of them. Very good. Do any of you have any other questions or points you'd like to bring up?
Oh, I'm good. Willie?
I don't think I can follow that.
Judy Rich says quite correctly, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. And also subscribe. YouTube noticed some people subscribed the other day and yesterday, right? And they said, screw you. We're taking them back. So if you subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed.
Can I do a quick plug then? Actually, I forgot. See, my name, Wullie at Terrier Comics. That's my YouTube as well. So I'm tending to do loads of stuff right now with my YouTube. Wullie at Terrier Comics. I'd love a few more numbers on my subscribers there because I've not got that many, and YouTube's already started kind of like taking them away from me.
I know.
It's like, what's going on?
Here, one second. Let me find your channel. I'll put it in the chat. Wullie.
Cool. If you like, we do two kind of things on there. We've got the PG-13 with Stato, Statistical Zero, where Stato and myself talk movies and comics. And Stato's been reading Judge Dredd for the first time. And this Thursday, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about both Dredd movies.
Man.
I already know.
I have to say, in hindsight, I might prefer the Stallone one.
Well, I've been staying quiet about it. He's been talking about it and trying to get me to talk about it prior to the show, but I've been staying quiet about it. But I've just got a new Blu-ray that I got, a Spanish edition, which is uncut and Blu-ray. It's got some nice postcards in it. So I'm going to watch that again. I'm going to watch both movies. I champion the new one because I love the 3D. I'm very big on 3D. And I think it's done so well. But I'm going to watch it in 2D, and I'm going to compare them for the show. So we're going to have a show where we talk about both these movies, and it could be quite good fun. We're doing that on Thursday night, 8 o'clock UK time.
Okay.
But I do like a more kind of adult show with Lucifer Storm, where we talk about the video nasties and horror movies and stuff that will scare you away. So if you like that stuff too, we cover all that. And we talk comics.
Okay, that's what we love. I just put the link to Wullie's channel in the chat, and I think we have one final thing that we really need to address. This is one. Here we go. Kathleen Kennedy is the Antichrist. Yes, it's good that we could all get together and agree on these things. Kathleen Kennedy is indeed the Antichrist. The force is not with her.
The things that bond us, it's lovely, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
Things that bond us all together. It's lovely.
It is. Hatred of one person. So I hit the end broadcast button. Now I'm going to hit the second one. I hit the second one now.